Hey, what's going on, people? I hope you guys are doing good. Today, we're gonna be talking about this. This is the Insta360 ONE RS. It's the successor to the ONE R, has a lot of great improvements, and in my opinion, it could be the best camera that you can buy under 300 bucks. Now, before you guys flame me because I said best camera under 300 bucks, let me explain. So this camera comes in at $299, which is a great price for what you're getting. You're getting the new 4K boost mod, which shoots HDR video, and it has a 6K cinematic mode, which looks really good. You get a front screen that can flip around to the front or the rear so you can see yourself while you're vlogging. You get in-body or in-camera stabilization, flow state, so you get that really great stabilization, but now it's done in-camera versus having to do it in an app or software on your desktop, thanks to the improved processor, which also gives you slightly better color science. And overall, you're getting a great camera in a compact package that can fit right in your pocket. Plus, this thing is waterproof. So yeah, it's an action camera, but it's also a great vlogging camera or a camera for quick YouTube videos or social media videos. So some of you might be thinking, well, the Insta360 ONE R started at 299 bucks, so you could pick that up cheaper than this, so why not go that route? Well, let's talk about some of the differences between the ONE R and the ONE RS. So off first glance, they look very similar, and I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't decide which one's the new one versus which one's the old one. But if you take a look, the battery on the new one is actually bigger. It's much thicker than the old battery, and that's because this one is 20% larger, so you're gonna get much better battery life with this new battery. But what's great is if you have the old one, you can take the new battery and you can put it on the old one just like so. So it just snaps right onto the bottom, and you're gonna get all the benefits of that larger battery on the old ONE R. And this also works with the 1-inch mod, so I have the 1-inch mod on the Insta360 ONE R, but I can take it off, and then I can put this 1-inch mod on the ONE RS, no problem. So everything that fit the old Insta360 ONE R is interchangeable with the ONE RS. And the battery on the ONE RS is also interchangeable with the old ONE R. So that's really cool. You could also use the old battery on the new ONE RS, just like so. You're not gonna get all the extra battery life benefits, of course, but if you have one of these old batteries lying around, you can easily pop it on your camera. I don't know what's going on. Here comes the sequel. Another difference is the displays on each of these cameras. If you look at the ONE R, there's like a dotted line and then 2 arrows along the side of the display, whereas the ONE RS has like a magnifying glass and then a Q button. The magnifying glass is for changing your field of views as well as digitally zooming, which is really cool. And then the Q button is for launching your quick custom mode. You can set up to 5 different custom modes, and you can quickly launch them whenever you need to bounce between custom photo or video modes. So if I wanted to bounce into my 4K 60 frames per second mode, I can tap on C1. And then if I want to bounce into my active HDR mode, I can tap on C3. Just gives you the benefit of bouncing in between your own settings whenever you need to. Another difference comes down to the housings that are included inside the box. This is the new housing, which says ONE RS on the back, and you get some extra protection right here, whereas the old one is just wide open. But the biggest difference is how you open them up and put the camera inside. So the old one, you have to push this in, and then you unlatch the top, and this opens up, and then you put the Insta360 ONE R inside. So I have the ONE R right here. The issue with this way is if you want to use something like this 1-inch mod, you can't shut it. You have to unscrew the 1-inch mod, and then shut this, lock it, and then screw on the 1-inch mod like so. And it's time consuming because now if you want to switch mods again, you're gonna have to open this up, unscrew it again, then take it out, and then put the 1-inch mod back on. It is a very time-consuming process to switch out mods, whereas the new housing fixes this. So I put the 1-inch mod on the ONE RS, This is the new housing. It opens up from the side here. You just push in this red button. It opens up, and then you just slide in the Insta360 like so. This locks in, and that's it. You don't have to remove the glass of the 1-inch mod, and it's also compatible with the microphone attachment and various other accessories from Insta360. So it just allows you to switch out things much faster and easier versus the old housing. So that's the physical differences between the 1R and the 1RS. Now let's talk about a few of the differences that you can't see, like the updated core, because there's a lot of things that are different with the updated core that make it more powerful and much more capable. One of the first things I want to talk about with the improved core comes down to Wi-Fi speeds. So the 1RS has 50% faster Wi-Fi speeds versus the 1R. And we're gonna test that out right now. All right, so I'm inside the Insta360 app and I'm connected to the Insta360 1R first. I'm going to download this clip right here. I'm gonna go into the information so I can show you. It's a 39-second 4K clip and it's 398 megabytes. I just wanna show you that so you know I'm transferring the same exact file. Now I'm gonna go ahead and select it and then download this clip. I'll go up to the progress and you can see it's downloading at 6.7 megabytes, 6.8, 6.9, 7.1, 7.2. So roughly between 6 and 7 megabytes per second. That's how fast this clip is downloading. I'm gonna go ahead and let it finish, and then we're gonna switch over to the RS. All right, so now I'm connected to the Insta360 1RS. I'm gonna go ahead and select the same clip, go into the information so I can show you that it's the same clip. It's 39 seconds, 4K, and 398 megabytes. Now let's transfer this from the 1RS. Select it, download, let's go to the progress. You can see 11.5 megabytes, 12.1, 11.6, 12.5, 12.6. So it's not quite 50%, but it's really close. So you're definitely getting faster Wi-Fi speeds and a stronger connection, which I can definitely vouch for because I had some connection issues with the 1R that I don't have with the 1RS. Some National Geographic stuff right here. Oh, the poor lizard. It keeps getting stung. Outside of faster Wi-Fi speeds and a more reliable connection, you also get a better processor, which enables a plethora of new features, including the ability to apply flow state stabilization in camera. So no longer do you need to use an app on your phone or on your desktop. It does it right inside of the camera. It's not perfect, but it's really good. And there's 3 different modes to select. There's like a low, a medium, and a high. Here's an example of flow state applied in camera on the 1RS versus no flow state being applied on the 1R. What do you think? The one limitation that I've noticed so far is that it only works up to 4K and 60 frames per second. So if you think you're gonna get flow state applied in camera at 5.3K, if you're using the 1-inch mod, it's not going to work. But to me, that's not a big deal. Another benefit to the updated core is it supports the new 4K boost mod, which shoots in 4K HDR. So it's taking multiple frames and stitching them together in order to give you an HDR image, and it works really good and in conjunction with flow state. In fact, I'm shooting on the 4K boost mod right now. Let me know what you think. I think it looks pretty good. So here's a couple more samples that I shot using the new 4K boost mod, and you can see the HDR video working beautifully. There's also a plethora of other features that come with this 4K boost mod, so let's talk about those. Another benefit to the 4K boost mod is the fact that it has one of the largest sensors on an action camera, which is a 1/2-inch sensor. And I find this to be the perfect balance between keeping everything in focus versus having too shallow of a depth of field. I really like this mod, and it also means you're gonna get better low light results when recording video and for photos. Check out these samples that I got when I was at an arcade, and I strapped this to my head and to my chest. I think the low light looks pretty good. There's even a 6K widescreen mode. So if we go into the different modes here and then go all the way over to the right, you'll see the option for 6K widescreen. And there you go. There are some limitations, so it only shoots in 25 and 24 frames per second. But I think it looks pretty cool, and it gives you a different field of view and just a different perspective if you're trying to go for a more cinematic approach with your footage. The new 4K boost mod also supports 48 megapixel photos, which allows you to take pretty good photos and do a lot of cropping. So I'm gonna take a picture of this mural real quick. I'll go ahead and just snap this photo. It saves a JPEG and a RAW image, so you can capture 48 megapixel RAW photos on the new 4K boost mod, which is really cool. Here's a few samples, including the mural that I just took, as well as several other photos. So the Insta360 ONE RS has improved microphones, and there's 3 different modes, including stereo, wind reduction, and directional enhancement. Right now I'm using directional enhancement, and this is being recorded internally on the ONE RS. Let me know what you think of the new microphones on the updated core when it comes to the Insta360 ONE RS. I really think that it makes for the perfect vlogging camera, especially if you're in a clutch and you don't have anything else. It's definitely gonna do the job. Another really cool feature with the updated core and this 4K boost mod is you can digitally zoom in real time. So instead of just adjusting your field of view, so if I go into the field of view here, I can switch from like linear to ultra wide, wide, narrow, things like that. But more importantly, I can digitally zoom to really dial in the exact focal length that I want. And I'm doing this all while recording in real time. So how cool is that? I can go from 17 millimeters all the way to 50 millimeters. And keep in mind, I'm recording as I do this. That's really useful. Of course, another benefit to the Insta360 ONE R is that you can attach the 360 mod and get really cool 360 content like you see here, which is like the tiny or toy car mode or the Grand Theft Auto look. And it's doing this by attaching a selfie stick to the back of a car. And due to the Insta360 software, it will automatically stitch out the selfie stick. It's really impressive and it's a lot of fun. In fact, there are 2 selfie sticks attached here, so it can remove up to 2, possibly 3. I haven't tested out 3, but definitely 2, and it's a lot of fun. The 360 mod itself isn't new, but due to the new brain, it does unlock 4K HDR video, and it looks really good. In fact, the little intro sequence was done in 4K HDR. Let me know what you think. So the 4K boost mod comes included with the new core if you decide to get that bundle for $299. However, if you have the budget and you want to get even better quality, you could pick up the Leica 1-inch mod, which gives you a sensor that's equivalent to a lot of point and shoot cameras out there. And this will really make a difference for low light, or if you just want to get more, I guess, mirrorless or DSLR looking footage. And right now I'm shooting on the Leica 1-inch mod. Let me know what you think. So even though the 1-inch mod's not technically new because this is the same 1-inch mod that was released with the ONE R, when you pair it with the new core, you do get some new features. So let's talk about those. So one of the new additions that you get when you pair the 1-inch mod with this new core is an updated color science, kind of. Like the colors are a little bit different, so I'm not sure if it's the color science or the image processing, but if you take a look at these 2 clips side by side, one with the ONE R and one with the ONE RS, you can see there is a slight color difference, and I'm definitely preferring the look of the RS over the R when the 1-inch mod is paired on both of them. The biggest difference when it comes to the 1-inch mod on the RS versus the R is with the RS, you do get flow state applied to your footage in camera versus having to apply it post. So just like with the 4K boost mod, the 1-inch mod does the same exact thing, which I definitely appreciate. But you also get a new mode when you pair the 1-inch mod with the RS, and that is a 5.4K widescreen mode or cinematic mode. So if I go into this mode right here, which is the widescreen mode, I can now shoot a 5.4K and like a cinematic aspect ratio, and it looks really good. Now you might be somebody that's thinking, well, I have one of these, and I have one of these, and I also have one of these. Oh yeah, and I have one of these. So why would I need one of these? Let me tell you. So ultimately, the Insta360 ONE RS is an action camera, so it's very durable, it's rugged, it's meant to be attached to like a boat or a truck and then go mudding, or a bike and then do some dirt biking, things like that. Places where I would not attach my phone because I would be afraid that my phone would break. Also, that 1/2-inch sensor on the 4K boost mod is bigger than 90% of smartphones out there, so you're gonna get better quality video. If you don't believe me, check this out. So this is an example with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It looks really good, don't get me wrong. I think the quality is great. Stability-wise, it's good, but it's really punched in. And but you really can't go wrong with the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I'm not gonna lie. Now this is shot on the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Again, the footage looks really good, and thanks to AI being on both the Galaxy S22 Ultra and the iPhone, you're gonna get some great HDR. But look at that crop. That crop is really, really bad. Now I'm shooting on the Insta360 ONE RS. This is linear mode and it's still really wide. I mean, that is super wide, and I can go all the way up to ultra wide, which is insanely wide. But this one takes away some of the distortion and the quality looks really good. Now you gotta remember, those two phones are about 5 times the price of this camera. And this camera is much, much more durable, and you could do a lot more with it, in my personal opinion. So there you go. That was a look at the Insta360 ONE RS versus the ONE R versus smartphones. Let me know what you think of the ONE RS and its modularity, the updated core, and the 4K boost mod. I really think that this is the perfect camera, not just for beginners, but just for anybody looking to have an action camera in their bag. The modularity aspect of this and all of the added improvements are awesome. I love this camera, and it's easily the best camera under 300 bucks. Sound off down below, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please think about giving it a thumbs up. I just stuttered a little bit. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.